Have you ever heard about the Nazi atrocities in concentration camps? Most people would immediately nod. But what if I told you there was a secret unit of the Japanese Empire that was conducting medical experiments that were far more insane and inhumane? Welcome to the dark discussion about Unit 731. A place where human morality has completely died and been replaced by a very evil curiosity. Well, before we go any deeper, I want to ask you a question. Do you think the current advances in medical science are worth it if they are built on the suffering of thousands of innocent lives? Keep your answers, because after hearing these facts, your views may change completely. Unit 731 was officially known as the Kwantung Army's Epidemic Prevention and Water Purification Department. It sounds noble, right? Purifying water and preventing disease, but it's just a front. The headquarters was in Pingfang, a region of Manchuria that was then occupied by Japan. There, they built a giant complex containing laboratories, prisons, and crematoria. The figure behind this madness is Shiro Ishii. He is not an ordinary soldier. He is a genius doctor, but has very dark ambitions. Ishii believed that biological weapons were the key to Japan's victory. For him, medical ethics is nothing but a barrier to the progress of science. Interestingly, the victims in Unit 731 had a special name, namely Maruta. In Japanese, Maruta means log. This is not just a term, but their way of removing the humanity of the prisoners. For the staff there, they weren't dissecting humans, but simply chopping up logs. These victims consisted of Chinese and Russian prisoners of war, and even civilians, including women and children. No one ever got out of there alive. Once someone has entered the gates of Unit 731, they are considered dead by the outside world. We come to the most horrific fact: vivisection. This is the practice of human surgery while alive. And what's even crazier, they did it without anesthetic. Why? Because Shiro Ishii believes that anesthetics can affect the condition of organs and the results of their observations. They cut open the stomachs of the captives, removing the organs one by one to see how they function while the human is still breathing. They even did crazy experiments like connecting the intestines directly to the esophagus to see if humans could survive. All this was done while listening to unimaginable screams of pain. Besides live surgery, Unit 731 was the largest biological weapons factory in the world at that time. They deliberately infected prisoners with various deadly diseases such as plague, anthrax, cholera, and typhus. They wanted to see how long it would take for someone to actually die. Not only in the lab, they also do field tests. Japan dropped ceramic bombs containing fleas infected with the plague on Chinese cities. It doesn't end there. There are also experiments under extreme conditions. The prisoners were forced to stand outside in the bitter cold until their hands froze completely. After that, the doctors poured hot water on the frozen hands to see how fast the skin can peel off the bone. There is also a high air pressure test. The prisoner was put into a vacuum chamber until their lungs explode or their eyes pop out of their sockets. They literally use the human body like a toy in the laboratory to satisfy their perverted scientific curiosity. You might be wondering, why is the world talking about this less than the Holocaust? The answer lies at the end of World War II. When Japan began to lose, Shiro Ishii ordered the destruction of all Unit 731 facilities. All the remaining captives were killed with poison gas, and the bodies burned to the ground to remove any traces. The staff were given strict instructions: carry this secret to the death. They are strictly prohibited from contacting each other or admitting to having worked at Pingfang. Ishii wanted to make sure that this atrocity was buried with the rubble of their laboratory. But justice often feels very ironic.
Small moves, no mistakes.
The United States finally found out about this experiment.
It is a high risk. We must take it.
However, instead of bringing Shiro Ishii and his men to justice as war crimes, America is actually offering a very controversial secret deal.
No one can know. We are here to ensure a peaceful transition.
The United States granted total immunity to Unit 731 scientists.
Proceed with the signing of the documents. Is this everything?
The condition? They must hand over all the data from the human experiments to America.
This wasn't for nothing. This will secure your immunity.
At that time, America needed this data to face the threat of the Cold War with the Soviet Union. As a result, Shiro Ishii died peacefully of cancer at the age of 67 without ever spending a second in prison. Many doctors who were former members of Unit 731 have become important figures in the Japanese medical world. Become a professor at a renowned university, even found a large pharmaceutical company. The impact is profound. Most of the medical knowledge about frostbite, the effects of radiation, and the spread of infectious diseases we have today. Unfortunately, it stems from the suffering of the Maruta in Unit 731. This is the darkest side of our medical history. The story of Unit 731 is a reminder that without a moral compass, science can turn into the most terrible weapon.
Keep a close watch.
We must not forget what happened in Pingfong.
Move along.
So that dark history like this will never happen again in the future. What do you think? Is America's decision to grant immunity for the sake of this data justifiable by the logic of war?
Write your opinion in the comments column, okay? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss other historical stories. See you in the next video.